Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and tonight I'm going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite video game franchises. I was born in 1976, so a lot of the games I like are from that era. I grew up fortunate enough to be in the arcades when that was really a thing. So most of my favorite games are the old arcade games, the Atari 2600, NES games. But, over the years there have been some more modern games that I've really taken a liking to. And that's what I want to talk about today. It might end up splitting this video into three parts because there's three games in the series, and I've been trying to keep my videos a little bit shorter so people are a little more engaged and don't get bored or whatnot. If you have been enjoying my channel, please subscribe to it. Hit the little notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I post a new video. If you enjoy this one, give it a like. Leave something down in the comments if you like something about this video, you dislike something about the video, or if you've got any opinion on the game series that we're going to talk about today, and that is Dead Space. This is an incredible video game series, so well done. Unfortunately, it has come to an end because the studio that made it went out of business. I really hope it'll get revived someday because, wow, what a tale. So, what this series is about, and this is the first game here that I'm going to start talking about. This is from way back in 2008. So this was two generations ago as far as video game hardware. This was out on the old PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360. Eventually, there was kind of a spin-off game that went to Wii that was pretty good, but that was more like just a straight-up shooter game. It was told in that same universe, but not as good as the mainline games. So basically, in the 23rd century, here's the backstory. In the 23rd century, Earth has kind of used up all its resources, overpopulation and whatnot, all the basic sci-fi tenets that you get, in your dystopian novels or dystopian movies. So they end up sending all these what they call planet cracker ships out into the universe that tries to, refine minerals, ores, whatever from all these planets, bring it back to Earth to keep everybody safe and alive. So on this one particular planet, they discover something as they're digging. They call it a marker, and it's kind of this weird shaped thing that's giving off some kind of electronic pulse. The electronic pulse just has a habit of like causing hallucinations. I'm trying to think of other things that it was doing. Um, Reanimating dead things, basically. So there's a top secret researcher that ends up revealing this information to the colonies, to the world, and he ends up getting murdered for it. Well, he becomes a martyr, and they form this whole religion called Unitology based on this him and based on the marker and whatnot. So that's kind of the backstory setting up the game. You flash forward 300 years, and you're playing as a character called Isaac Clarke. He's an engineer on a rescue mission. There's a whole team that's on this little ship heading out because they've lost contact with one of these planet cracker ships, and his girlfriend was on there, or his ex girlfriend. I don't remember. It's been a long time. So that's basically his motivation for going out there. Besides being an engineer as part of this rescue team, he wants to kind of see what's going on with her. So they get out there. Radio silence. They go to get on board the ship. The whole rescue team gets on through the airlock, and things are kind of offline. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, so everybody kind of spreads out, all over the ship to kind of figure out what's going on. And they come to encounter these things, these horrific, disgusting, vicious, violent creatures called necromorphs. They're sort of like reanimated humans mixed with aliens. It's just so well done in this game, so freaking creepy, so vicious. I mean, like the animation in this game, like they will tear you to shreds, literally. Like it's one of the most graphic, gory, disgusting. Not that it bothered me, but just overall, being honest, one of the like nastiest kind of games you could ever play. Anyway, so you're kind of going around the ship. You're trying to restore systems. You're kind of trying to scavenge parts to upgrade your weapons, and figure out the mystery of what's going on the ship. Well, you come across your ex girlfriend. I want to say she was the ex girlfriend. Her name was Nicole, but so she's sort of helping you, but she's like, on the other side of plexiglass, or she's in another room, or she's on a monitor, whatever it is. So you're playing as Isaac, going all over the ship, trying to fight these things, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. You come to find out eventually the captain of the ship was one of these unitologists, and he discovered another marker on this planet that they're mining, brings it back to the ship, and of course all hell breaks loose because it causes this outbreak. So Isaac is going all over the ship, doing everything he can. Eventually it gets to the point where one of the rescue team betrays everybody else and murders everybody else because she's a unitologist and she's trying to bring this thing back to Earth by herself. So not only is Isaac fighting all these creatures, he's fighting the ship because the ship is a disaster area. He's having to patch things together. There's like zero gravity parts. You have to go out to the exterior of the ship. Weightlessness. Like there's all these really cool aspects of it. Just such an amazing game. I mean, you, they made like kind of movies off of it, like animated movies. But I mean, if they made this thing a movie and they did it well, this would be like one of the greatest sci-fi stories ever told. I mean, the story of this game is amazing. The gameplay is really good. It's just a fun game to play. It's kind of a tough game to play because it's just so vicious and punishing, but but it's a really enjoyable game. I love it. Right up my alley. Sci-fi horror. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Anyway, so you discover through the course of playing that this marker thing, this thing that they discover that is causing the necromorphs. Like I said, it's causing hallucinations, but it also causes you to kind of be a part of a hive mind. So Isaac, he ends up being the last survivor. I don't remember how, the one that betrays the whole team. I don't know. She blows him out into space, whatever. Because he's in this kind of like exosuit that you can upgrade, to have all these abilities and whatnot. Anyway, he ends up fighting her, and he's getting help all along the way from the beginning of the time he gets there from his ex girlfriend. You know, um, he ends up fighting whoever this traitor is. He beats her, kills her, whatever. Then he has to kind of fight, fight off the marker itself. It's sort of weird, But anyway, he gets to the end of the story and he realizes his girlfriend's been dead the whole time. That he's kind of hallucinating seeing her, like she's been in his mind the whole time. So he kind of he gets off the ship, he escapes. He defeats everybody, he kills all these things, but now he's kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So it kind of segues into the second game, which since I've only gone 7 or 8 minutes here, I'm going to kind of quickly go over the second game. So in the second game, it's 3 years later. He's kind of like in this mental institution on a base on right offside the moon of Jupiter or Saturn, one of them, and basically, he's trying to get treatment for the hallucinations and all the stuff, as the result of the marker. But of course, some other idiot tries to bring another marker in there, and it causes another outbreak. And now he's got to fight his way out of this insane asylum, and it's just it kind of similar to the first one, just a lot more intense, a lot bigger, environment that he's in. Anyway, so again, he's fighting the aliens, but now since he's so close to Earth, he's kind of fighting the unitologists who are trying to capture him because they kind of see him as sort of like a prophet sort of figure. Anyway, so he's fighting his way all through the station, and he comes across this lady Ellie, who's like a pilot, and her crew had been there for whatever reason. They got all wiped out except for her. So it's like him and Ellie kind of team up to get out of there, to survive and whatnot, and to fight against the station manager. They end up fighting him, killing him. Isaac kind of sacrifices himself so that Ellie can get away, but she finds a way to come back and rescue him. So I mean, it's just a really cool game, really cool series. There was a third game in the series. I never really played the third game, so I can't really say very much about it. I mean, I've read the story, but I've never actually played it. But the first two games, I left that one part in the second game, which was kind of cool. Like it's a good sci-fi trope. Like as he's approaching the final area where he's going to go fight the station manager, he has to kind of cross through the bay, like where they keep all the ships, and he runs into and is forced to get back on the first ship from the first game, which I thought was kind of cool because like he's had such a traumatic event, and now he has to kind of live through it all over again. So that was kind of a really cool touch. Like I said, there was a couple of offshoot games. There was one that was like a puzzle game. I never got into that one. I did play the one on the Nintendo Wii that was a shooter. Different characters in that same universe, and it was pretty good. I mean, it just wasn't as good as the first two. Like I said, I briefly started the third game, but I never finished it back in the day. So I can't really comment on it because I played maybe half an hour just kind of get it started. It really wasn't as popular from what I've read. It was another co-op game. It was more action versus they took away like the horror aspect. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to tell you guys about this incredible game series, incredible story. I'm hoping someday it'll get re-released or remade for the newer systems, or that there'll eventually be a sequel because there's so much more they could do with this story. Uh, Excellent sci-fi story, excellent horror story, right up my alley. So, hope you guys have enjoyed me kind of bringing you up to speed with that. Like I said, it's called the Dead Space series. If you have a chance to check it out, I would definitely recommend it. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell so that you'll be the first one to know whenever I post something new. Something tell me something you liked about this video, something you didn't like about this video. If you're a fan of Dead Space, tell me what you guys think about that. And I'll see you in the next video.